And it is the return of, I think, the spiritual function of what art has always been. Part of what art has lacked in this spiritual capacity is a sangha. It's a community. And the unique opportunity of a digital sangha community that, isn't, beholden to some kind of mythic god or thing, other than the discovery of our own, divinity through a transcendental experience that gives us a unique lens and a gift to share with the world. It seems like a really natural kind of development that has really gone a little bit unrecognized, sort of on the sort of surface culture, but underground, I think, is very robust and vibrant and alive and where it should be.
Well, thank you both so much. Like
Thank you, Amanda.
the way pavers, right? The ones that are put, each taking up the torch for care. And that's what you both have done and have been a huge, major mentors for me and for many of us that are here in your example of how you have committed your lives to love, to art, and to community, right? And all of that as one. I'm so grateful for the continued journey and for your example and having a vision, articulating it, and including all of us, because that's what you do.
We were just showing a copy of the Entheon volume of Cosm Journal, the 11th volume, which is the theme is Entheon. There it is. And it is a tome of beautiful pictures and a really fun thing. But the thing is, the last 150 pages or so are all by people who are visionary artists who, support what we and you are doing. The celebration of visionary art as a community. And so in that, we were able to publish that volume, which includes, the history of visionary art by us, our first version of that. And although we may have done even a shorter version way back when, but basically the Cosm Journal. So, covering visionary art. And we try to do that, and you do that, and we all get supported by a wonderful community that feels that art is a spiritual path. And they notate their most peak experiences through their art, just finding that that's the most important experiences. What else should we make art about? But that, what do we really want to share? Look at you in the book.
Let's see. Next is someone we know, I think.
And it's Phillips.
Mm-hmm. Who's next? Yeah. And so anyway, we thank you for sharing your vision and your important statements, sociopolitically at this time. I think there's really a good reason that we're all showing up with this kind of desire, skill, and kind of armed with this, need to share the inner light, because it provides an oasis and an inner sanctum for the psyche that is battered in today's mediascape. And so providing this kind of interconnection of light and vision and sound and, celebration is just the kind of soul stuff, the lifeblood of the psyche and soul. So thank you for, making the skin of the soul visible, for everybody all over the world, all the time. When we are together here in psychic space, digital enhanced psychic space. You know, it's consciousness ultimately that unites us. And there is a kind of group soul that forms however beings get together. And so it's a spaceship, it's a garment of blessings around the earth, it's a psychotronic device for healing and transmission and transformation of higher vibrational information, to make it, to download it onto the canvas, you know, through the, you know, the output of our psyches and skills. You know, it's the bringing heaven to earth through the practice of a craft, you know, and sharing it, delivering it, you know, with heart and still warm, you know, with spirit.
It's a trip on the train. And, you know, and we pass the baton to each other, host, you know, we learn how to share music on here and do things, but we also do all kinds of activities. We do interviews, workshops, and collective dreaming. So we take turns going to the sleeper car, right? And okay, let's think about this. Suzanne Toro, I don't know if you know of her. She came on here and I did an interview with her like probably 14 years ago or something, but talking about these astral realms, talking about all of these capacities that we do have. And as artists, many of us tap into these states, you know, through the act of making art. And when we're all together doing it, a lot of us have experienced, I would say, elevated states through music, live painting, you know, being in that kind of almost like trance state, right? This old phenomenon of live painting all over the world. And so to gather together and to tune in to the same frequency, there's something about this that I think is really, really interesting. I think it's going to become more and more a tradition, maybe. I mean, we do art jams, right? It's nothing new, but what about gathering collectively, globally? There's mass meditation, right? But the kind of big art, let's all make art together. And so we've just been doing this the last few hours with our friend Paul Daly from Ireland. We've been doing this for days. We've been doing this for 5 years, right?